It has been 2 months since Hurricane Helene, and the government has totally dropped the ball. We are seeing so much incredible suffering in the mountains of Western North Carolina and the surrounding areas, the areas that were hit extremely hard by Hurricane Helene. More than $50 billion in economic damage has been done just in North Carolina alone, and then there's the states surrounding it. But the clips I'm about to show you are heartbreaking. We need to pray for these people. We need to help these people. If you haven't donated yet to the relief efforts, please do, because we we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't be seeing this. We get taxed into oblivion, and one of the things that our tax dollars are supposed to pay for is disaster emergency. Our tax dollars are supposed to be covering this sort of emergency, but the federal government has totally blocked has dropped the ball. In fact, there are federal rules which are actually preventing people from getting the help that I need. And this first clip talks about this. So this first clip was posted by the Liberty Daily. I love those guys. They do a great job. They share a lot of my material, a lot of my articles. But this was posted by the Liberty Daily. This is a clip from Fox News. So let me play this clip for you.
So here's what we got. The floodplain has, this is a 1,000-year flood. So the topographical map shows, Ezra maps show the floodplain lines. Well, there is rules in place. I spoke with the state fire marshal an hour ago to get some clarity. There's rules in place that say that you can't put these trailers on floodplain property. Well, everything up there is now considered floodplain. And what a lot of people don't understand is the rivers that were 100 foot wide, now they're 600 foot wide in some places. So people not only lost their homes, but they lost the land that their homes were on. It's down to bedrock. So it expands out the area to which you can't put these trailers. So that's why, the route that we have chosen to go, these small temporary trailers, they can be moved around. It's not the best and it's not permanent, but yeah, I mean, if somebody could, somebody in the government could say, hey, we're going to lift these temporary restrictions right now and let this be, man, it could get a lot of people out of the cold right now instantly.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
And that's just heartbreaking. The government actually has rules. You can't put the temporary trailers in the floodplain, but that's the area that gets flooded. And now all the areas that have been flooded are considered to be floodplain. And so the government's saying, oh, we can't bring these people trailers, but people are actually living in tents. And in some cases, very, very flimsy tents. Let me play you another clip. It's from Fox News, and this just got to break your heart. This is how people are living. Meanwhile, winter's moving in. Meanwhile, snowstorms are starting to move into Western North Carolina. It's going to get extremely cold this week. It's Thanksgiving week. Well, if you have a nice turkey, you're living in a nice warm home, you should be thankful, because this is how people in Western North Carolina are living right now.
To parts of Western North Carolina seeing their first winter weather of the season. But many of the areas seeing snow have not fully recovered from Hurricane Helene, and the conditions that people are living in, well, let's just say less than optimal. Steve Harrigan on the ground at Swarno, North Carolina, just east of Asheville with the latest. Steve?
John, first snowstorm here underway, and these freezing temperatures really the last thing people in Western North Carolina needed. If you see here, people were in these mobile homes. Those floors were torn out by the storm Helene 8 weeks ago. They were moved to hotels by FEMA. Those hotel vouchers for many people have run out, and now they are in tents after 8 weeks after this storm. And for families with small children, it is not an easy transition.
It's awful, especially with your kids. It feels like you're really letting them down. It's really cold. It's very uncomfortable.
A lot of people here have also lost their cars in addition to their homes. They were flooded out in the storm, and there's no money for many for porta-johns or bottled water. And when you talk to emergency workers here, they say the pace of recovery is just startlingly slow.
There's no sewer, there's no water, there's no power. There's your answer.
And that's unbelievable. You could just see the wind just cutting through those tents, and those flimsy tents, they're cold. They are really cold to sleep in. And you know what? People out there could freeze to death, literally sleeping in these tents because low temperatures. They're going to get into the 20s. People, especially children, sleeping in such conditions. It's terrible. It's terrible. Now let me play for you some. This clip has a lot of aerial footage. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the destruction and the lack of cleanup. Order hasn't been restored in many areas. They're still finding dead bodies in some areas. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So let me play this clip for you.
This is Swannanoa, North Carolina, today. Not the day after the flood, 53 days later. The problem here isn't just the mass destruction. It is the fact that we have whole families living in tents. Not warm tents, but freezing cold tents with babies. These people need help. Western North Carolina needs help.
Once again, just heartbreaking, unbelievable, the scenes of utter devastation. And this has been a complete and utter failure on the behalf of the federal government. Now, FEMA people are down there. FEMA people are down there. And this tweet, this is just a picture. This is how the FEMA people are living. They're in heated trailers, you know, and this tweet posted by Jason, it says, do you realize that it's going to be below freezing in Asheville, North Carolina tonight? And in some parts of North Carolina, it's already below freezing. Do you realize how many people are living in tents? FEMA workers who aren't doing anything are hanging out in heated trailers. Well, at the same time, we're housing illegal immigrants in luxury hotels. And that's the case up in North Carolina, where in New York, where the government is spending just incredible amount of money, and not just in New York City but elsewhere, housing migrants for months on end in luxury hotels. Meanwhile, this is how people in North Carolina that have lost everything are being treated. And then my last point I wanted to make, it comes from an article I posted yesterday. I entitled it, "We Can't Get Hurricane Victims in North Carolina the Help They Need, but we have $174 billion for the war in Ukraine," where we have spent literally $174 billion for the war in Ukraine. We have billions and billions and billions of dollars for whatever they need, whatever they want. But meanwhile, we're not even taking care of our own people. So this is one of the reasons why so many people are angry, so many people are upset. The federal government has totally dropped the ball. It's a failure of historic proportions, and people are suffering. So pray for them. Donate to the organizations that are doing a great job. Samaritan's Purse is one of them that's doing a really great job there in North Carolina, trying to help people. But this was supposed to be the job of the federal government. This is what we pay our tax dollars for, and it's been a complete and epic failure. So I wanted to bring your guys' attention to that. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I'm going to keep digging into this and other stories, and appreciate your support. And please spread this, share this video with as many people as you can. Let's bring awareness to what's going on there in Western North Carolina, and please pray that the people will be taken care of and be able to survive during this time. And I'll see all of you again in the next video.